guys, this is Shelby with the Roger Public Library. So this week for Full Steam Ahead, I wanted to talk to you guys about dams, right? So dams are they're basically just structures that retain water, right? So you can think of this as kind of being like a dam, right? It's a device used to stop water and hold it up. And when you talk about dams, you say, the water that's stored is called a reservoir, right? And then you might call this a spillway, right? That's designed for a certain amount to let a certain amount of water let out. So dams are, pretty old. People have been making dams for a really, really long time, for a couple thousand years at least. And there's some obvious benefits, right? Like people drink water, so we need water for drinking, or cleaning, and we also need water for irrigating crops and growing food. And they have some other benefits as well. One is that if you dam a river, that makes it so that the amount of water flowing in the river is controlled, right? Or you can control how fast the water flows. And that means that you don't have to worry about things like floods or droughts as much. For when there's too much water in the river, there's not enough. And then more recently, we've started using dams to make electricity, right? Which is just like you have a big turbine and you push water through it, and then the turbine spins, and that does some stuff with magnets and creates electricity, and you can power your house and brush your teeth and do all that stuff. Yeah. But no, I'll just show you this dam. So I just have water. I'm gonna pour it in. So Legos aren't 100% waterproof, which I didn't know when I was making this. But there we go. Right. So see, it's more or less stable. There's a little bit of water leaking out. But it's holding it, right? It's retaining it in the reservoir. Then we just add a little bit more, and we get some flow down the spillway, just like that. And of course, this is messy, so I'm using a pan to catch the water and just make sure we don't make a huge mess, right? And there's some downsides to dams, right? Is sometimes or modifying the way that the water flows can sometimes hurt plants and animals living in the rivers, like salmon that need to migrate upstream, that don't know how to get around dams. Even when we make special structures that are supposed to make it easy for them. You can also trap things like sand, right? Or rocks, right? When that happens, the reservoir can't hold as much water, so it doesn't work as well. And it also, causes some other problems in the ecosystem. But anyway, our craft this week is we're making a little beaver, because beavers make dams. So I got some beads. These are just polystyrene beads. So styrofoam, right? For some reason, we only have this giant container. So I have to pour the stuff out of the giant container. Let's see. Oh no. Not good. I think I poured too much in here. So I emptied out some of the excess beads, and now I'm just going to tie a knot in the sock, right? That's to hold the beads in there and to make a nice, basically animal shape, right? It's a little bit elongated, but that's okay, right? It might be a little bit more like a ferret than a beaver, okay? And then that's the hard part, right? The rest of it is just gluing it on. So I got a lot of shapes, right? These are the eyes. See, let's glue on the nose first, right? So little triangle for the nose. Put it. Okay. It's the nose. You have yellow teeth. Beaver's teeth are a really weird kind of orange-yellow color because they have a bunch of iron in them, right? And iron makes things red, like rust, or clay. Those are both iron, right? Or a specific kind of iron that's more red than the kind of iron that we use for things like cars. Okay, so teeth and nose. The eyes. I think these eyes might be a little bit too big. But they're okay, right? They don't look too bad. And then these are basically arms, right? Or paws for the beaver. I'm gonna put them on the side. so. Okay. And then, of course, you need a tail for your beaver. If you want, you can paint on it, kind of get a more leathery texture. But we'll just attach it down here at the end. Okay. And it's a beaver. I think that it might need to be a little trimmed a little bit, or at least the end part of the sock, but that's more or less a beaver, right? It's recognizable as an animal. But that's the craft that we have for you guys this week. You can pick all of this up here at the library. Yeah, I hope you guys learned something, and I'll see you next week.